Hello and welcome. I'm Arithix, and this week we have a couple of different things to look at. Last week we took on the last 2 weeks we took on the large task of doubling the Daily Bugle, and it's still looking very large and in charge. Really, still really happy with that. It stands out a lot better. When you're over towards where the Nexo gate is, you can still see it towering above the Ninjago City Gardens. So very happy with that. So what do I have for you this week? Well, I have some little bits to do. So I've got to make a road play. I've got some road details. I've got the pieces to do that now. I'm going to start the Nexo gate probably this weekend and next week because I have quite a busy week and weekend coming up. So that's why I've chosen to do the smaller tasks. So what have I got for you this week? Well, I have a rather interesting find. Something that my mum actually found online and then sent to me, and I picked it up. And it is very retro. So we have some Lego here from as early as 1975. So if I move Aaron out of the way, I'll bring the main set in question that we have. You can sort of see there's some old school trains. So it's set number 182. This came out in 1975. It is part of the 4.5 volt motor range. So Lego did some motors way back in the 70s, before we had our modern train system and our battery packs with I think we're still using you know replaceable batteries, and I think it would definitely be good to get some like rechargeable ones. You just plug into like a USB and charge it up and then use it. But this is where it all started with these 5.5 volt trains. So this is the instruction manual, and you might notice that it actually comes as a leaflet. This isn't a book like we're used to in our modern sets. So we've got this sort of leaflet thing. Hold on. So we've got here, you can see the instructions for making the front of the train, the engine itself. Down here on the left, you can see they do big chunks of bricks at one time. In modern Lego, you tend to find the instructions tell you to put in, one piece at a time, or a couple of pieces at most. But this is, big steps for each one. And then this side as well is for the blue carriage. It goes on the back, and then there's the railroad crossing. Well, it's not the crossing, the switch. And then on this side we have the instructions for the yellow carriage, which carries a little tiny car. You can see very simple bricks, almost entirely just square bricks, maybe a few slopes, but very simple. We were talking very early days for this. So this is set number 182. To give you some context on how crazy that number is, Ninjago City Markets is 71799, so 71,799. I don't know if they've done every single number and that there is actually 71,800 sets. That would be pretty crazy, but they do release a lot of sets, Lego, and they've been going for so long. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, they're up to 5 digits. And this was 182, so very old indeed. We also have this railroad crossing, which gives you a few example layouts that you can do for your track. It is not single pieces of track, like we're talking like you got your individual pieces of track. So they're actually the same pieces pretty much that the Daily Bugle uses for its decoration. So let me see if I can find one of the straight pieces of track. There you go. So they are pretty much identical pieces. There is some very subtle differences. You'll notice this one is completely flat on the bottom, and this one, there's actually like a small sort of divot at the end. And I think that's just because of how the track connects, but they've pretty much exactly the same piece, same length, other than those subtle old differences. But that's what they're using these pieces for now. But it used to be track once upon a time. And it's blue, which is interesting to say the least. What else do we have here? So we have this big crane. So this is more of just your standard 4.5 volt motor stuff. So they didn't just do trains, they did little cars, they did gantry cranes, all kinds of things. So it's just crazy seeing these really old Lego sort of instructions. Like, look how much information is on this sheet. How complicated this would be. Imagine for a child. I imagine that this is probably doesn't have an age on here, recommended age, but look at that retro Lego logo right there. British Lego Limited. Crazy. You've got some boats on the back and some other things. Just absolutely crazy. What other leaflets we got in here? So you got this. I don't even know what this is. It's just a guarantee. So you've got your guarantees. We've also got, this is more train layouts, ways you can set up your track. We've got another train, set 183. This also has lots of pieces in it. Interesting. So then you've got, this is more of a cargo train. Going to be hauling your coal and other assorted bricks and building materials and things like that. You can see here we've got a shell garage. You see, this is before minifigures were even properly established. They don't have their movable arms or legs. They don't even have smiley faces yet. Absolutely insane. And it's in pretty good condition overall. I haven't got any batteries to test if they actually still run, which would be really, really fun if they still did. A couple other bits more train layouts here. And last leaflet we've got in here is the instructions 146. Now this comes with a little minifigure. I did have a little look in this box, but I couldn't find the minifigure in here, which is a shame, because it would have been nice, because I do have one or two of them somewhere in the void, but it just would have been nice to have another one of those really, really old school minifigures. This is what came in the box. Now I'm pretty sure that these sets are not complete. I seem to be missing some things, so we'll just start taking them out of the box. So we have here is a complete of the blue train car. It's got 182 stickers on the side. That's the set number. The magnets are color coded, so you know which magnets. Blue will not go with blue and red will not go with red, so they must go that way. Very, very simple design. Old school windows, still rolls. This one is not complete, the yellow one. So that's a shame, but we can put these old magnets together and they still work fine. So it's just a question of, I have most of these bricks. I wouldn't even need to order anything except these windows, these really old school window pieces, because they are literally just a solid brick, transparent, with the little lines on the outside. Then we have, this is the front of the train. So the back is a little bit broken, but again, very simple pieces, could probably fix this up. And this is the old motor. You can see it's got the rubber bits on the feet and a bit more of a complex system of wheels on the bottom with the turny ones. So that should, oh no, that's red as well. Did they build this backwards, or is it supposed to connect to something else first? I believe this is the motor. Now this says 183, so I think this is the motor for one of the other ones. Here's the motor with 182 on it. So it takes these big C batteries. There's 3 of them. It's 4.5 volts, so I would say each one is 1.5 volts, just a guess. So that is the cab. The magnets, unfortunately, have snapped off. That is a very big shame. Because I don't know how else you would power it. Obviously the magnets don't carry the power, but it's just a shame it doesn't have the magnets anymore. We have this, which I assume is just something that someone's built. You've got your old 2x brick on a base. And we have this, which seems to be another kind of car. We've got some slopes. international transport. And then we have this other, I believe this is the other motor for the front, although the curved wheels that are on the other one are not present. What else we got in here? So we've got, that's, I think it would be the roof for this, so that would go across there. But obviously we're missing some windows and stuff. Oh, look, there's a window. So we can put one side in, fix that right up. And yeah, I mean, there's some black pieces in here that probably go on the front of the thing. These are the big batteries that they take. I'm not going to use these ones just because the chances are that these are well past their life cycle. I mean, they don't actually look too bad. It might be worth a try. But I need to look at the instructions to see how these actually connect, because you have this, which I think goes from the battery pack into there, which is interesting. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. It's a bit difficult with one hand, but here we go. So that gets plugged in there. Oh, this one already has the wire in it. I suppose you could use, because this one still has the magnets, we could use this one. So I'm going to stop the camera for a minute and I'm going to try setting this up and we'll see what happens. Right, so I have connected these up. I've tried a couple of the batteries that were included. I had a look over the batteries. There was no leaking or anything, so thought I'd give them a try. I believe this switch is meant to do something, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't. Might have to do a little bit more research into these to see if is it possible that there's an on switch somewhere that I'm missing. There's nothing in the instructions. They're very, very vague. Despite having all of that text, it says very little. But yeah, so, and then in this box, it's mainly track. So you might find the rest of the pieces for the carriages, but you know, you've got this road crossing where the track goes in the middle. We've got they've decided to include a Percy from Thomas the Tank. The other part, there's another part of him in the other box. So then you've got old school railroad crossings. So, you know, this is like proper Lego. It's just such a weird like this seems to be, it's a weird kind of plastic, the feel of it. Almost feels more like wood, like a popsicle stick type thing. Here's your big switch. So the idea for this was that you would put track on it and then it would hit the motor and come to a stop. Like this little switch that sticks out would collide with this and stop the train. So you could have proper stations and things. You've got another one here. Got loads of track. Like, look at all of this track you go across. You've got the switch track here in blue. You've got just absolutely loads. I'm actually gonna, again, I'm gonna pause the video again, and I'm just gonna try and put together just a little bit of track so I can show you how this actually works. So bear with me just a moment. Alrighty then, so this is the track setup. So it's connected with these 2x8 white bricks, and then they act as the you know, the wood bits. I don't actually know what they're called. I should do. I know I have a friend that works on train tracks, so I should probably know. This isn't supposed to be pulled, so I'm going to move this forward, but you can sort of see it does just move on this track, kind of like normal, like you'd expect. The curves are quite interesting because, if I move this out of the way, the one on the back is longer than this one. So this one is the short one, and then this one is the long one, and you need both to create the tracks. Otherwise, if you put two long ones together, then this white 2x8 doesn't match up, and you're not going to have a good time with it. But yeah, so this is set 182 and 183. Very old 1975 Lego trains. Very, very cool. I am going to continue to try and get them up and running. I will troubleshoot some things. I will try buying new batteries, and we'll see. Because I think if this also runs on normal track, then it would be quite nice to have a really old school train in the Lego City. So that would be really cool. If I can't get this particular motor to work, but I can get these back up to their former glory, then what I might do is just build a facsimile using a modern motor to get this thing moving. It won't be as good, but you never know. This thing may have just seen better days, and it just needs, you know, it might be beyond repair. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed having a look at this. I think it is a very interesting find, to say the least, to find this just randomly on the internet. And I know it's not complete and it's not in the best working order, but I mean, these things aren't cheap. Even, nearly 50 years later, in 1975, that's almost 50 years ago this Lego is from. Just to put that in perspective, 49 years as of this year that this set came out. Like, that's how long we've had the Lego system. I mean, it is even older than that. But this is just crazy. Anyway, so we'll close out the video by taking a look at the street details and stuff that I'm going to build, and then yeah, see where we're at. Right, so starting off with the trees. So these are the trees that I've been putting on the side of my streets, and just made some more. I decided to throw a few like pink flowers on there, some cherries, just to see what it would look like. I quite like this design. You get a nice blend of the pink and the green, but it doesn't make a lot of sense because cherry blossoms trees blossom before they leaf. They blossom in the spring, then they lose all the blossoms, and then the leaves come in. So maybe not accurate, but I think it looks nice. But that being said, you do have the other style of tree. So Ninjago City Markets has the white sort of leaf, big leaf elements, and then pink accents. That one has some lavender in it, and then the bonsai tree also comes, I think, with white. So I'm going to again put this to you guys. Do you think I should keep these trees as is with the green and the pink? Or do you think I should work on replacing them all with this kind of colour to get the cherry blossom effect? So leave me a comment down below. Which tree should I go with? I'm leaving it down to you. I like this one, but I do also like this style as well. It's a bit more realistic, but I definitely feel it gives a little bit less green in an otherwise pretty grey road. So there's that. And then we also have built a bunch of street lamps. So this is my design of street lamp. You might notice that there is a piece missing. So if I grab this one here, so this is the design of street lamp that I've gone with. It is missing the blue solar panel and glow-in-the-dark brick that form the actual light. So I thought I had quite a few of those, and it turns out I had 3. So I'm now in a position where I've made all of these sort of half. They just need those last 2 pieces, and they are good to go. But very happy to have all of these street lamps ready to go. So let's pop them in the sea. Well, there we go. So we've got our trees and street lamps now going all the way down the road. I do think it adds a nice little bit of colour into the streets. Obviously, I still need to get those last 2 little bits so I can finish those street lamps. But other than that, I think it's looking really good. This is pretty much almost completely finished road. I do need to finish building the traffic lights in the right colours. But other than that, it is pretty much done. This is fully detailed. I'm thinking about swapping out these coloured bricks on the edge because this is likely to be the edge of the city, at least for a little while. I will expand eventually, but yeah, it's going to be like this for a while, so I might as well swap them out. So as well as popping in the trees and the street lamps all the way down this road. I also built my road plate for over here. So we now have this nice T section, fully detailed off with street lamps. These street lamps actually do have the blue solar panels, but only one of them has the actual glow-in-the-dark light piece, which I've chosen to use. But yeah, I think that's it's looking really nice now, with all these details finished. I popped a few base plates, just going down the road. You can see where the road would be. Now next is going to be continuing to build the Nexo Knights castle. So we've got another set down there in the darkness that I'll open and get to work. But yeah, trees and street lamps looking good. Again, in the comments below, if you let me know, do you think I should stick with the green ones like this? Should I switch to have more white and pink to be more like this kind of color tone, to be more like cherry blossoms? Or should I use both, perhaps? Mix it up. Use, like green tree, white tree, green tree, white tree, and, just, have a little bit of a mix. Let me know in below what you think. Also, I only had one comment so far on what to do with this room, which is, I do really appreciate. It's one comment and said to build the news TV studio. So unless anyone disagrees with that and thinks in the comments that I should do the podcast studio instead, then it looks like we'll be building a news studio. So that's also on my to-do list. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the nearly 50-year-old train. 49 years ago this set was released. So that is, I hope you've enjoyed that, because that's been a great little experience for me. Probably the oldest, well, some of the oldest Lego that I've ever had. I got some of my nan years ago that was one of the really old houses. So I have had some old Lego, but this one was really interesting because, old school motors and the old school instructions. My nan never had the instructions, so I just built the house however I thought it should go together. But very interesting indeed, and I hope you like how the street is looking. Don't forget to give this video a like if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to keep up to date with everything that I'm working on. And yeah, that'll do. That'll probably be it for now. So stay cool, keep building, and I'll see you next time.